All right, everybody, welcome in, welcome in to all the Blue Devil fans. I wanted to start off the broadcast by saying a thank you to Leandre Arnold for the sub. We missed that one last time, or he came in late after the broadcast was over. Either way, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. We've got Duke and we've got Wake Forest coming up. A game here. Duke trying to go to 5-0 in the ACC. We're going to watch our Blue Devils do that. So make sure to join in on the conversation while you're in chat. Of course, all the Duke fans. There's a couple things I wanted to get to beforehand, though. One of them is this new uniform reveal, which looks absolutely sick. Like, absolutely sick. So I'm just going to play this because it's awesome. And you're all going to get to enjoy.
The GOAT. You've built the best basketball family in the world. You've had more players of the year, All-Americans, and straight-up good dudes than any coach in history. And you're about to let them know.
Hey, what's up, Coach?
Listen, this one's for my
Nolan.
guys. It's time to activate the Brotherhood alert, okay?
All right, let's do it.
And Duke is the king of the dance.
Fellas, 4 incredible decades and counting. This one is for you guys. Let me know what you think.
Man, these would have looked fresh with my high top fade back in '92.
There's the pass to Leitner. Puts it up.
The Brotherhood is blooming. We've got NBA owners, front office execs, college head coaches,
Love how they did-
NBA head coaches,
These are really
NBA All-Stars,
the
future
jersey, I was like,
NBA
that is
All-Stars.
really fancy.
You know Jay Smooth is here for the Brotherhood.
I don't know exactly how they did it.
Spinning his way to
They've got the two
Hold up
images,
one
like,
sec.
superimposed
Look
on
around,
one
man.
another, and then they're
The
just like doing
campus,
a
the Gothic
some
architecture.
transition between the two.
No one has our drip,
but
bro. No one.
It's
I agree
pretty
with you,
damn
Jay.
good. It's really good.
When the Brotherhood reaches out, you get right back.
Here they come.
Yo, my
Oh,
sneaky
hello.
post move
Hi, Diana.
will work even nicer in this unit, man.
One word, man. Iconic.
The fellas better go hard in these. Yo, those are clean. Can you send me one to Detroit?
Yeah, those new uniforms are tough. I'm all in from Sacktown.
Those are cold like Denver.
Those right there are for champions.
Honestly, at Maryland, I would have broke through the floor with that stomp in these uniforms.
Jerseys are fire. Would have loved to hit some big shots in those.
Oh, this kid. Onions by the little guy.
It looks really good too. I was trying to look for
around the block.
what I swear they gave us shirts with that lettering on it. There's definitely a polo with that lettering on it.
Different.
And I'm pretty sure Eric has it because I've seen him wear it. Eric or Justin have it. One of the two have it. Maybe they'll bust it out for tomorrow's show.
We have something special for all of us tomorrow night, fellas. Just for us, all right?
Captains.
These look good, so I'm really excited to watch our Blue Devils in these jerseys tonight.
This is for the Brotherhood.
If that doesn't get you pumped up as a Duke fan, I don't know what will. Actually, I do know what will. Right before the game starts, we're just going through a couple pre-games things at the moment. This is going to get all the Duke fans pumped up. This is Clemson beating UNC in Chapel Hill in overtime earlier today, breaking the curse. The new uniforms. Yes, those are the new uniforms that we'll be wearing tonight. We're going to knock this source off and give you guys the game cast there as I've got the game up and running. So I'll be watching the game. Obviously, It's difficult to show the game because that's illegal. But if you do not have the ACC network, you can definitely hang around in chat, give us the opinions. I will be broadcasting it for you and giving you the absolute Duke only, completely biased interpretation of everything that happens because Duke is the best team ever. So, the starting lineups are going to look pretty similar for our Blue Devils. I think it's going to be our normal starting five here with Trey, Vernon, Matt Hurt, Cassius Stanley, and we'll probably throw. I don't actually know who the fourth one is going to be. We'll get that here in a second. They're just showing a couple. Still haven't started the game quite yet. It is 5:03. My guess is tip-off is going to be closer to 5:05. Speak a bit louder. I gotta there's one way to do that. I think it's to do it this way, probably up the mic there. So, okay, that should be. Hey Rocky, how you doing? How you doing? Welcome back. Welcome. Been good. Been good. I've been feeling it's cold outside, but I feel really warm with the tears of the Tar Heels. So I've been warming myself up with that. And yeah, here are the black unis. So just for we'll show this for a second before the game actually starts. There are the black uniforms for the Duke Blue Devils, and we are looking quite fresh in them. Of course, the last time that before the game starts, we could also do, the last time Duke and Wake Forest played in Cameron, this
Antonio
happened.
getting the start and the tip.
This whole nightmare, and let's just fast forward. We were basically losing. We were winning the game, and then we decided to throw the game away, and nobody decided to do anything. They were the final. Here's the final. Thinking that we're still going to win this game, we were up 3 with 1:30 to go here. This was last year's game, again, at home against Wake Forest. Strong move there by R.J. Barrett. This is the way we called it here on Relive. Still 20 seconds to go. We were only up by 1, and we don't end up doing actually anything on this possession, really. Or there's actually, well, yes, there's R.J. Barrett who gets the 3. Gets the 2, puts us up by 3. However, we're only up by 1 with 7 seconds to go. And Wake Forest thinks they're going to win this game with the 3 at the end. And it doesn't go. Except that the angle from the basket is even more alarming. Look at this. Everybody remember, this is what happened last time. Wake Forest with the putback, thinking, yes, the power of K compels you. That's what we had here on the show. At the end, unbelievable. I mean, so that was fun. And now we are now underway in Cameron Indoor Stadium. We are actually not wearing our white uniforms because the uniforms are black, so the colors look a little weird here. Jordan Goldwire is the 5th starter for Duke out on the floor. It's Childress, White, Johnson, Musius, and Oguama for Wake Forest. And the first Wake Forest shot comes up empty as Trey Jones brings the ball back up the floor here for the Blue Devils to get the offense rolling. Over to Cassius Stanley up in the left corner. Jordan Goldwire now collecting the ball. Trey Jones open in the corner is going to take the 3 from the outside and is going to connect Trey Jones with the first pair of points for the Blue Devils on the triple. Nice to see him getting in on the action early. That means good things for Duke if we can get Trey Jones his outside shot especially going early. Duke's, of course, sitting at 14-1. Our Blue Devils performing really nicely here. 4-0 in the ACC. Wake Forest only at 1-3. Pesky team, however, as they always seem to be for whatever reason, especially when they come into Duke. Coming off a loss against Florida State the other night, the 3 from Wake Forest out there is no good. Didn't Jordan Goldwire play 37 minutes the last game? He might have. Let me pull up the stats from last game. That's a good question. There's a lot of minutes to go around, just like in general, as like the minutes are like super well spread out, much more so than in previous years. Like we have viable options like 1 through 8 for sure, and then Wake Forest here is going to hit a 3, so make it 5-3 in favor of our Blue Devils. Let's see, schedule. Coming back on here on the other end, Jordan Goldwire disregards a pick from Matthew Hurt. Still out on the outside. Cassius Stanley trying to get it to Vernon Carey inside. Carey on the outside. Ooh, nice pass out to Matthew Hurt. And Matthew Hurt drills one early here at the 17:48 mark. Give Matthew Hurt 3. Blue Devils up 8-3 now at home. And let's see, Georgia Tech. Box score. Oh, Wake Forest with a mid-range jump shot that goes 8-5 now. So the question was, how many minutes did Goldwire play? 37. Yes, so accurate on that one. 37 minutes for Goldwire in the last game. That one was against Georgia Tech. Tough game for our Blue Devils, especially on the road. And here's Goldwire down inside. Nice feed there from Trey Jones at the 17-minute mark. Nicely done. Great look in and amongst two Demon Deacons. Whew. Duke now 8-5 here at home in the early going. Duke hasn't missed yet, actually, from the floor. 4 of 4. That's Childress trying to get the shot over Trey Jones, and it's going to be a foul against the Demon Deacons. Yeah, and then so we have Wendell Moore is in some sort of cast/splint. It looks like, yeah, he's on the bench, and Trey Jones is going to shoot another 3. He's going to come up long on that one. Vernon Carey not going to come up with the rebound, but Matthew Hurt is out to Cassius Stanley. Oh, he gets this one stolen by Childress. Childress now going on the other end. Trey Jones versus Childress. Trey Jones with a rejection. Going all the way to Stanley, who's going to give this Matthew Hurt in the same spot on the left corner. No, comes up short. Oh my God, massive rebound by Vernon Carey. Sensational. Matthew Hurt with the putback and the cleanup. Great hustle down low by our Blue Devils. My goodness. That was awesome. Couple missed shots, but Duke just cleaning up the boards. Yeah, apparently, so we have a stat here. Duke is, 5th in Division I in blocks? That's pretty sick for a Duke team who's just prided themselves on defense, basically. Or remade themselves defensively. Last year was okay defense. This year is really good defense. And we do have a timeout on the floor at the moment, even though we haven't hit the 16-minute mark yet. So there's an early media timeout here. Either that or it's just a Wake Forest timeout because they can't seem to get anything going. We will also be checking out the Titans-Ravens game when that thing starts. Unfortunately, the two big sporting events of the day overlap. I'm interested to see. I'm not sure which one's going to be a bigger blowout, that game or this one. Of course, blowout in favor of our Blue Devils. Let's see, San Fran already having qualified for the final there. Actually, a rather crazy day around the ACC. Let me just pull up some of the scores. Like, we had the Carolina meltdown because they were winning that game, actually. Oh no. Yes, so the Rocky, so it's an interesting comment there with Gonzaga. I could go on for basically ever about Gonzaga and how they don't deserve a number 1 ranking ever. Because like basically what happens is that they get, like, everybody says they're a good team, and they just get gifted this number 1 ranking. But what happens in reality is that, as you said, there's no team in their conference that is like remotely like competitive. So in the end, they just like somebody will eventually beat them by like some massive upset, but you never know when or where that's going to be. So they end up like with all these weeks at number 1 that aren't really real because it doesn't mean like it's hard to say like how good they are or not because they don't play anybody. So, but because they're number 1, they're going to be number 1 until they lose. So we're stuck. We're stuck at number 2. It's like really rare that somebody takes the top, like somebody moves up in the poll if the one above them doesn't lose, right? That's like really rare. I I mean, I'm sure it's definitely happened before, but it doesn't happen often. Even though Duke for sure should be like the top team, more so than Gonzaga. Maybe I don't know. Maybe like we'll get lucky and St. Mary's will beat them or something. They'll just like lay an egg or something. I mean, they had a competitive game against Pepperdine, like quote unquote competitive. I guess Pepperdine was like within single digits in the second half. I guess you call that competitive. But yeah, because once they're in their conference, they don't ever play anybody outside. Like they don't go outside. I think last year when they had it, they did actually play someone outside their conference. They traveled away and they lost, and everybody was like, "Oh God, Gonzaga lost." We're like, "Well, yeah, duh." Like, what'd you think? Vernon Carey gets fouled here at the 15:27 mark, trying to go with a little hook action there with the left hand. Okay, yeah, so that was the game I was talking about. Like you've got it dead on, Rocky. So like like we pounded Miami by 30. They only beat Pepperdine by 5, and like at that point, like the eye test should be worth something, right? You should be like, well, I guess Miami isn't that good of a team, but I guess with the next one, right? At Georgia, like we have a competitive road game against Georgia Tech, and you're like, well, Duke is definitely playing better than Gonzaga. You should like rank them number 1. At the end of the day, this comes down to like the giant conspiracy of the NCAA, which well, that's a block by hand by Matthew Hurt. So give 2 blocks to the Blue Devils here early in the first, which we'll absolutely cover once we get closer to the NCAA tournament. And because like Gonzaga's just gifted this number 1 seed seemingly for seemingly every time, and the steal here by Jordan Goldwire going coast to coast lays that one in. Nice steal, great defense there by Jordan Goldwire. But yeah, Gonzaga's gifted number 1 seed always like goes to waste, and it's like I'm not sure if I really feel bad for them or I just feel bad for the rest of the field. Because like somebody who landed on the 2 line should have gotten that number 1, but the NCAA needs a West Coast team because they need to show a West Coast team to the West Coast viewers. Like that's how this game works. So it's got to be Gonzaga for the time being. Cassius Stanley, woo, with a 3-pointer, beautiful shot, great look by Trey Jones. One more assist for Trey, for our man over there, captain. Goodness. Balanced scoring here early. 5 points for Hurd, 5 for Jones, the 3 from Stanley, 4 for Goldwire. Vernon Carey only 1 point so far. So, great hands though by Vernon Carey, who denies the entry pass by Wake Forest, and Trey Jones goes coast to coast and puts it too high off the glass, and then the baseball pass out to Wake Forest, who can't convert. That was going to be a crazy play. Great defense and getting back here in transition by Hurt to stop the layup. That was Oliver with a baseball, Sarr with the baseball pass. I'm glad to see Cameron looks absolutely packed. I'm so glad to see it. I love it when the student section is back and there's like no empty seats. And well justified because this team is a hot ticket. So exciting to watch. When we were down in Miami, we got a chance to see them. They're so good in person. Childress now at the top. Jack White just pushes the Wake Forest player Sarr out of the way. He's like, Wake Forest tries to set a screen, and Jack White is just like, get out of here. And it's got actually a turnover by Childress, a traveling call that results in the Wake Forest turnover. Duke up 18-9 here. 13:45 in the game. Oh, nice feed into Delorier. Gets double teamed by the Wake Forest. Oh, and he travels. What? What? There was no walk there. I don't know what that ref is calling. God. Sure. Give me 1 sec, Duke fan. I gotta set it up. Give me give me 1 sec. It's Wake Forest hitting a 3-pointer. Actually, not hitting it, taking the 3-pointer and missing. Let me just look it up. I think it's this one. There we go. All right. Let me know if it breaks, Duke fan. I've been having issues with Discord. Like, I've been having, ever since the latest Discord update, I've been having really weird Discord crashes that I think has something to do with the fact that it's I'm not running Windows 10 or something crazy. Blocked by Delorier, phenomenal block there by Delorier, actually. And it's going to result in a wide open 3 for AOC. No, actually, AOC is going to drive hard into the paint and take a spill here. Ouch. Alex, God. Oh, damn, Alex. He fell hard. So Alex O'Connell down on the court here. Stoppage in play. Looks like hit his right hip. There's no audio. Hold on. So I can do that. Hold on. Oh, and it just broke. Okay, so that's what breaks it. Okay. I want to say Hurt stay another year or two to develop on strength and speed. He would be a nice addition to next year's team. Yeah, I mean I agree. I don't know. I don't know why Hurt would necessarily leave after this season. Actually, so I totally think Hurt would stay for sure. Hold on. There we go. Okay. So Alex looks fine, thankfully, because we don't need another Duke injury. God, we have too many of those. Delorier at the line gets his first. And Delorier misses the second. And our free throw shooting isn't much better than it's been in the past. 2 of 4 at the moment. Okay, so 10-point lead for our Duke Blue Devils here. As, Wake Forest tries to get an open 3, but the active hands there by Duke deny it. And it's a travel. Absolutely a travel. Another turnover, this one by Masood. Wake Forest now with 5 turnovers in the game. Just give us the ball more, please. Thank you. Goldwire to Stanley, getting a screen by Jack White. Great pass by Goldwire to Joey Baker in the corner, and Baker drills it. If Duke Duke has loved the left corner, like the far left corner. Matthew Hurts hit 2 threes from that spot. Joey Baker now hits a 3 from that spot. Wake Forest is just like leaving it wide open. Cassius Stanley getting a little lost on defense. Looks for his man, can't find him. Wake Forest puts up a little mid-range jump shot there for 2. And ESPN incorrectly gives Duke the points. So it's actually 11-22, 22 to 11. Oh, Joey Baker almost for the 3-point. Oh, game disappeared. Why did the game disappear? Really? Huh? All right, give Duke 24 to 11. I'm liking this. This is actually a perfect start for us. We did not come out slow. Like, we are not playing down to the level of Wake Forest, which we have found ourselves in bizarre. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, it did. Hold on. This is what I'm saying. It's like really weird. Something in this latest update really messed up settings. Because it was like totally working. Just like ping me in Discord or something if it dies. It was working like really well before they like the last week because we use it to when we're doing the shows. When we're doing the shows too, and when we're doing the live broadcasts on Twitch, because we have to. Um, yeah, I do love how we've like been swapping through jerseys though. That's like pretty sick throughout the season to have like multiple jersey options. I'm gonna try to put on this Titans Baltimore game, and maybe it's gonna break on me, and I'm gonna break the internet in my apartment. Bingo. It's all marketing. Oh, come on, mom. Don't be so cynical. It's all marketing. They actually I would agree that it's all marketing if they didn't look as good as they do. Like granted, it is all marketing, but at least it's a good product. So I will give them that. Like if they were just like trying to sell and it was like not and like the level of the quality like wasn't as good, then I'd be like, yeah, uh they're just trying to but but they actually look really good. So I have no problems with good products that work. So, yeah. All right, we are back now coming out of the under 12 timeout here in Cameron Indoor Stadium. It's 11:11 on the clock, 24-11 in favor of our Duke Blue Devils. And Sar thought about a 3, but well guarded by Matthew Hurt. Yeah, well guarded by, it was Matthew. Oh, Jordan Goldwire almost there with a steal on the pass, and that should have been a Wake Forest turnover. In any case, it's out on Duke, actually. Wow, Titans just got an interception. That's crazy. Inbounds here. 5 seconds on the shot clock for the Demon Deacons, and they're way out. 3, 2 seconds, 0 seconds, nothing. Not gonna do it. Childress just puts up a prayer, and not even close. Not even close. So Wake Forest definitely struggling early here in Cameron. Oh man. Wow. I don't know why it does that. Let's try this. Actually, hold on. I may have to change something. Um, all right, I changed one of the settings. Let's see if it breaks on me. So Vernon Carey, once again trying. Vernon Carey having a slightly, only 1 point so far. We talked the other day on the Duke show about how impressive Carey has been. Like he's basically has, what was it that Justin was saying? He's got 18. He's playing 23 minutes a game. So he's essentially playing half a game, and then but he's putting up 16 to 18 points in 23 minutes, which is incredibly efficient. Imagine if he'd playing all 40, he's got like 36 to 40 points a night. It's incredible, although nobody can actually play like the full 40. But talking about full send, there's Joey Baker hitting a 3 from the left side again. So give Joey Baker 2 of 2 from 3. So Joey Baker out to a good start as well. Man, love it. 6 points off the bench. Leading all Duke scorers at the moment, actually. Wake Forest free throw is no good. There for Johnson. Wake Forest Johnson has 6 points as well. And he makes the second, so at least Wake Forest is hitting free throws. Not that they can seem to hit anything else. They're shooting, 5 of 12, so 41%. They just aren't getting shots up, to be honest. They've got 6 turnovers. And they got 6 turnovers and 5 made baskets. This looks like the Duke team that started the start of the season with more forcing more turnovers than allowing their opponents to make shots. And Cassius Stanley gets inside into the paint really nicely there for 2, doing work inside. The little guy. Oh, Wake Forest offensive foul. Cassius Stanley drawing that one. 15-point lead now for the Blue Devils at home. 9 minutes to go in the first. Oh, around the world, Vernon Carey gets that one to go. Finally, 3 points for Carey now, after his shot hits just about every part of the rim. Cash is working hard outside against White. Great defense there for about half the shot clock. Now Wake Forest having to figure something out here with 10 seconds on the shot clock to go. The shot goes up and is no good. Rebounded by Jones. Up to head to Goldwire, giving it to Jack White, trying to get this one down low to Vernon Carey, and just unstoppable at this point with the left hand. Not a chance, Wake Forest. Not a chance. Get out. Vernon Carey now on back-to-back possessions, going deep in the post and getting it to work. Absolutely. Love it. Love it. And now, so we'll switch gears. I'm watching this Titans-Baltimore game, too. It's like Lamar Jackson got himself picked early. So this is rather interesting. These scores from around the ACC. I was definitely going to scores from around the ACC. What is happening in a wide open conference? The BPI bracket predictor gave North Carolina just a 1% chance of making the tournament before losing to Clemson today. Short of a miracle, it's over for the Tar Heels. Oh my goodness. Wow. That is awesome. We'll use that tomorrow for our show. Yeah, so just check out within the ACC today. Basically everybody was in action. Louisville manages to scrap out a win against Notre Dame by 3 at Notre Dame. Thanks, Mike Bray, for not getting it done. Much appreciated. Despite the fact that Notre Dame put up a 40-point second half, beat Louisville 40-31 in the second half. Not good enough. Syracuse goes on the road into Virginia to beat the Cavaliers 63-55. Like, what? The wheels are falling off for UVA as well. NC State loses at Virginia Tech. Okay, that makes sense. Clemson beats UNC, which drops North Carolina to 1-4. Think about that for a sec. UNC is 1-4 in the ACC. Clemson, they were winning by 10. Oh my goodness. North Carolina 39-29 first half, and they allow Clemson to put up 41 in the second half. Again, a total collapse by UNC, like they collapsed to Georgia Tech. And then Georgia Tech goes on the road to beat Boston College. Craziness. Anyway, we'll get to more of that at halftime. Back to the game for ourselves here. Oh, Wake Forest there drives coming out of the under 8 timeout. 2 more points for the Demon Deeks. 33-16 now for Duke. And Cassius Stanley driving in there with the right hand. Little floater in the lane. Well done. Mucius closely guarded by Jack White on the edge. And now this is Vernon Carey. He's going to get shot over. The Deacons are going to come up short on that one. Vernon Carey now setting the pick and roll screen up top. Goldwire for 3. Air ball. Ouch. Come on, Jordan. He's lucky he's at home, or he'd be having the entire crowd chanting air ball for him. Ooh. Wake Forest puts in another 2. So it's now only a 17-point game. Everybody start panicking. Although we have shown a propensity to give up leads to Wake Forest in the past. I don't think that's going to happen tonight. Another screen and roll there by Carey. Pass outside to Jack White. Jack White's just going to drive on it. Get fouled. We got 2 free throws coming up for our Aussie brother. 6:23 to go in the first half. Jack White, yes, makes the first of two. Sub Baker back in. Think Goldwire coming out. Yes, Goldwire out. Let's set the floor for everybody here. We've got Joey Baker. Jack White is still at the line taking his second free throw and misses the second one, so Duke's still at 50% from the free throw line. Vernon Carey in, Cassius Stanley and Trey Jones, and Joey Baker. Those make up the five on the floor for Duke. Rebound to Vernon Carey off the missed Wake Forest shot. Duke now doubling up Wake Forest 36-18. A three-pointer outside from Jack White! Beautiful. Make that his 10th three-pointer of the year. He has not been as prolific as in the past. Remember last year he had that horrible shooting slump and never really got out of it. We thought there was one game last year where we're like Jack White is back, and then didn't happen. And then it got really awkward because Jack White wasn't back, and that was unfortunate. But looking good now for the time being. So now Duke racking up the more than double here on Wake Forest. Well, that was almost a walk by Joey Baker, but Baker puts it in for three. Jack three. No, Jack. Sorry, for two. Another turnover? No, deflected by our Blue Devils. Almost a turnover by Wake Forest. Did not quite get there. Wake Forest trying to inbound with 17 seconds left on the shot clock. Childress against Trey Jones. That's pretty much the matchup. And here's oh man, it's an open three for Wake. Gosh darn it. Come on. Left him alone in the corner. Trey Jones running offense here for Duke. He's actually just going to take a mid-range jump shot from about the free throw line and drills it. Goes down a little awkwardly, though. Oh, my goodness, a block by Joey Baker. Joey now with 2 blocks. It's like Trey Jones. Hope he hasn't tweaked a calf there or something. That didn't look good. I think he just may have stepped on. Ooh. Ow. Slight ankle issue there. First Wake Forest free throw, no good from Neath. And the second one is way short, actually, although Wake Forest is going to get the rebound and Childress is going to shoot for 3. That's going to hit the front iron. No good there. Saar with the putback rejection by Delorier. Nicely done. Ball back to the Blue Devils. Wake Forest getting absolutely nothing. It's like Duke has become the new UVA, defensive UVA of like the ACC. And then when you combine it with the offense, the team just looks really good. So we haven't seen Alex come back into the game, who went down hard earlier, about 10 minutes ago in game time. 10 minutes ago, went down on his hip. Oh, Jack White. Oh, Jack White turnover. Unfortunate turnover for Jack White here. This gives the ball back to the Demon Deacons. 4 turnovers for Duke, 8 for Wake Forest. Duke taking advantage of 9 points off the 8 Wake Forest turnovers as we get closer to the under 4 media timeout here. Jack White almost forcing a backcourt violation. Javin and now Cassius Stanley coming out for a double team, but they don't complete it. So Wake Forest just drives into the lane and can't finish. Torrey Johnson trying to put one off the glass, can't finish. What time is the show tomorrow? The show tomorrow, I'm not sure what time the show. We'll have to figure out what time the show is tomorrow. I think it's probably going to be at like 11 or noon Eastern. Depends because the football doesn't start until like 1 o'clock, so I think we're. Oh no, it doesn't start until like 3 or something. I think it starts late, so we have some more time. We'll see. It's going to be something around 11 or 12 Eastern for the recap tomorrow. So quick stat check here for our Blue Devils. 7 points, 7 points apiece for Stanley and Jones. Joey's got himself 8. He's actually perfect from the floor. 3 for 3. 2 for 2 from deep, and then hit a 2-pointer. And Duke actually shooting a pretty ridiculous percentage at the moment. Yeah, the football's not till 3 p.m. So, how bad is the Wendell Moore injury? We actually covered that one the other day. Justin has a whole segment on the Wendell Moore injury. Based on his analysis, he thinks Wendell's probably out until like tournament time, like at least ACC tournament time. I think Justin said 6 to 8 weeks was the heal, just to heal, and then we're not even talking about like recovery after that. But I think the fortunate part for us is that Wendell's, I think was it Eric that called this out? Like Wendell's left-handed, and the injury is on his right. So well, no, or is the other way around? That we were hoping it was on the opposite hand of his shooting hand, but I don't think it is. So yeah. So yeah, the 3-point shooting for Duke in this case, they're doing a segment on it right now. 6 of 9 from 3, which is 66%. Wake Forest, in its own right, however, shooting 3 of 6 at 50%, so which is still a pretty good percentage to shoot. Back out of the under 4 timeout here. Let's see if Duke can put together. Oh my goodness, the meeting at the summit! The rejection by Jack White! Oh my! Wow, what a block by Jack! And a total basket-saving block. Wake Forest was going to absolutely dunk it. And Jack White swats it out of there. Javin ends up scoring on the opposite end. Wow, feels bad if you're Wake Forest. Wake Forest trying to get it down low here. And now they're actually going to settle for an outside shot that's going to go too long off the back iron. Rebound down to Javin. See, Duke needs a really good 4 minutes to just like put this game away, and then we can just stick around for the show in the second half, which is basically what a lot of games last year was. And Cassius Stanley gets held as he was basically about to put his man into the blender. Childress. Oh my. Actually, I don't even know. They're showing a replay of this block. I don't even know if it was a block, to be honest. I just think the guy missed the dunk. That's okay. We can give Jack White credit for forcing the guy to miss the dunk because he was especially disruptive. Let's see on the inbounds play. This one's going out. No, it's the inbounds is to Goldwire. Trey Jones just going to run some clock here. It's about 10 seconds on the shot clock. Trey might want to take this himself. Doesn't. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Stanley now working. Stanley with a spin move. Way off. However, Goldwire gets it back and does put it up to beat the shot clock. Duke's going to get another opportunity because it went out of bounds. Wake Forest pushed it out of, or tapped it before it left, before it went out of bounds. So let's run another inbounds play here, guys. Come on. A lot of cutting motion here. Trey Jones just gives it right back to Goldwire as a little relief valve, so he didn't see anything he wanted. Wake Forest last win in Cameron 1997. My goodness. They almost had it last year, but no. Cassius Stanley is short on a three-pointer from the left wing. As Duke now up ahead by 2 touchdowns. Jack White outside playing really good defense. Jack White playing really good defense. And now he gets a rebound. No, the rebound actually goes to Wake Forest off the missed shot. Still, my God, this Wake Forest guy cannot get around Jack White. This possession has been Jack White all over the place, and he forces a Wake Forest turnover, and Duke calls timeout because Trey picked it up. So Trey picked up the turnover and called timeout because he was down on the floor. Wow, Jack White defense. Sensational. Love it. Right at the 2-minute mark. It's probably going to just be a quick timeout here. I don't think it's a full timeout. It's probably a 30-second timeout. Oh, wait. Oh, it's 24 points. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, man. Up by 3 touchdowns and a 3 touchdowns and a field goal. My God. Public math is really hard, okay? Yeah, I totally screwed that up. Wow. That was bad. Thanks for calling me out on it. I actually really appreciate that. That's hilarious. Oh, the Duke fan can't do math. That's unfortunate. Vernon Carey. What's not unfortunate is Vernon Carey getting into the paint, although he doesn't convert the 2 there, so he's going to go to the free throw line. Oh man. I just did a really quick ad and I was like, yeah, there's a difference of like 14 and then you like add 10, like 4 and with a 5 and the 1 and you add 10 and you're like, "Oh yeah, 2 touchdowns." We could be like, "That sounds good." No, wrong. Absolutely wrong. 1:37 to go now in the game. Vernon Carey missing the first free throw. There was like a point where Vernon Carey's free throws got really good and he missed the second one and I'm just like, why? Yeah, 3 of 8. 3 of 8 from the line. This is atrocious. And that's almost a foul against Vernon Carey. Actually, it is a foul against Vernon Carey, who hedged really hard and almost knocked over the Wake Forest guy, which would have been hilarious, but they called the foul. No, so there was one game, I guess it was against SF Austin, right? Where like we couldn't shoot free throws at all. And then Vernon Carey, I guess all he did at the next practice was just shoot free throws, because then seemingly for like the next 3 games, he did really well. His free throw percentage actually like went up considerably. And now it's like back down, which is really concerning. So yeah. Actually, Wake Forest not shooting any better at the moment. It might, yeah, they do get that one. So they're 4 of 8. So both teams actually struggling from the line. They say that free throw shooting is contagious. And I guess contagious for both teams. And a little popcorn action happening with the ball here down low. Vernon Carey ends up with it, tries to put it off the glass with the left hand. No good. 1 minute to go in a 22-point game here. And Wake Forest just throws it out of bounds. Thank you very much. Another turnover for Childress. Wake Forest now with 10 turnovers and 11 made baskets. And this is absolutely going to be a foul against Wake Forest. What is he doing? Wake Forest guard there, Johnson, basically riding on top of Trey Jones for about half of the length of the court. Yeah, Life, I don't understand how it went back down either. Like, if you work on your free throw shooting, I guess he just stopped. Like, obviously, it's like one of those things that's like, it's like muscle memory when you go to the free throw line. But, oh, I'm sure they went off on holiday break and stopped playing a few games, and then they forgot how to shoot free throws. Also, the thing I can't get my head around is, oh my. Trey Jones misses the front end of a 1-and-1. Okay, two things. Number one, if you miss the front end of a 1-and-1, it should count as like 0 for 2. Maybe that would make players actually try to shoot their free throws better because you essentially cost your team 2 points anyway. And the second thing I can't get my head around is why, with John Shire and Nolan Smith on the coaching staff, that this team can't, like, Duke teams have not shot well from the free throw line. And it's not just this year. It's last year. It's the year before that. And it's like, it's a trend. It's an alarming trend. When you got a guy in Shire and Smith, I think also, but Shire for sure, who was shooting over 90% from the free throw line. Like, it's automatic. When John Shire used to go to the free throw line, the shots went in. And, like, the game was over. Like, and Eric called this out the other day when we were streaming our show. He's like, we used to get teams down by like even one possession late in the game, and they'd have to start fouling us, and it was over. In any case, now 10 seconds left on the clock, and Wake Forest has the ball here, trying to drive on Vernon Carey, and then they just actually turn it over. So 6 seconds to go, 5 seconds to go. This one out to Trey Jones. Trey Jones thinking about the three. No, he's going to step inside, and Trey Jones, yes, at the buzzer. Duke, again, for the third straight game, connects at the buzzer. 2 points for Trey. 49-23 for the Blue Devils. Attaboy. At the halftime. Woo, beautiful. Duke fans, we're feeling good. We're looking good. We're thinking good. We're playing exceptionally well. All business here in Cameron tonight. Trey Jones passes up the three, absolutely gets the shot off in time. Spectacular. Almost putting up 50 in the half. Quick stat check here on the side. Let's see. So Wake Forest. Oh, yes. Excellent. Wake Forest now has 12 turnovers and still hasn't made more than 11 shots. So they've turned the ball over more than they've made buckets. So the Duke defense is in full control of this game. We've forced 6 steals, and we have 12 assists on 26 made baskets. So that's 12. That's just under 50%. So, man, we're looking. If only it wasn't the fact that we were 3 for 9. Get this. We're 20 for 32 from two, like field goals, 63%, which is fabulous. We're 6 of 10 from 3 from long range, and we're 3 of 9 from the free throw line. Something about these stats just look really weird. Something about these stats are just bizarre. Anyway, 49 points and a half, led by Trey Jones with 11, Joey Baker with 8, Stanley with 7, and Carrie and Hurt with 5. So a great half here. Actually, we're checking in here on the football game as well. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, life, exactly. For sure, sad face. I want to see these. All right, let's turn this back on. This is this Syracuse Virginia game from earlier today. The ACC, at least with a lot of teams, is just whoever is ready to play and plays the best. Huh. I don't know if I think there's really like 3 teams that have sort of distanced themselves right now in the ACC. It's basically us, Louisville, and Florida State. And yeah, Rocky, I completely agree. Free throws cost us in the tournament, like for sure. Like if we could shoot free throws last year, then we would have been like totally fine, like totally fine. So there's this 63 to 55. I don't know. Nobody has good highlights in that game. I'm trying to think about what to talk about, what to make the topics for tomorrow's show. We're definitely gonna lead off with UNC losing again. We'll probably talk about we'll think about like talking about the wide open ACC. I don't know if because the ACC, well, it has been rather wide open the last few years, although like it always seems to be a race between Duke and Virginia and who can like lose only twice or like 3 times, and then between the Duke and Virginia games, whoever ends up winning those games ends up like taking the whole title. Although Florida State did win it a couple of years ago, so I don't actually Florida State didn't play today. Let's see. Well, Pittsburgh and Miami. And Pittsburgh having actually a pretty surprisingly good season, sitting at 11-4. Apparently, you can go to the Pittsburgh Miami game for $2. Wow. The tickets were not $2 when we went last week. That's for sure. I don't see a game for Florida State. Did I like totally miss it? Florida State beat Wake Forest by 10 on Wednesday, and I guess they don't play till Tuesday. No, they have a week off. Wow, Florida State has a week off until they have to. Actually, they welcome in Virginia. So next Wednesday on the 15th is Virginia and Florida State. What a game! That's probably worth watching, even though we're not in it. Wow. Although I think Virginia's probably going to fall out of the rankings this week. Would be my guess after this loss. They're at 18 right now. They'll probably drop off. And then the other surprising one to me, I don't know, Chad. Maybe the folks in chat, you guys have been keeping track of all the other ones. We should keeping track of the other teams around college basketball, but the big win for Baylor today. The Bears go to Kansas. I think this was this game was in Fog Allen, right? Just give me top 25. Oh my God, ESPN, you're killing me. This is probably okay. This isn't actually a game. This is probably okay. They're talking about Kville at the moment. It's a pretty neat segment. Nice. Oh, there's Dickie V. Cindy, thank you very much for the subscription to the on the channel. Much appreciated. Thank you. And just a quick shout out. Thank you to everybody in chat who's been hanging out. Thanks to all the Blue Devil fans who have been joining us. We had an awesome broadcast the other night when we were doing Duke Georgia Tech. A lot of love in our follow up post game the next day as well. Blue Devil Nation showing up big. Absolutely love it here. So for sure, thank you so much, everybody. I'm so glad that there are other Duke fans. It's so nice to share a game with other Duke fans, and it's like really, it's kind of hard to do when you're not at Duke. There's like when you spend so many years at Duke and you're in Cameron and you're like, this is awesome, and then you leave and you're like, wait, where'd everybody go? I'm surrounded by people that don't understand that like everybody bleeds Duke blue and the Duke is the best team ever. All right, I'm trying to find these scores from like the top 25, and ESPN's hitting me. I was really interested to see what happened with. Oh, I know why. That's why. Close. Yes, close. Where is it? All right, I think we're about to come out of the halftime. At least it looks like it. Hmm. All right, anyway, I'm pretty sure Kansas lost to Baylor. But the surprising piece of that was that Baylor is actually ranked fourth. And I was like, well, when's the last time Baylor's been ranked that high? And I actually don't think it's been that long, but I always go back and think about the 2012 like team, not the 2012, the 2010 team, sorry, where like we ended up playing Baylor all the way in the Elite Eight, actually, in the Elite Eight of that season, and I was like, where the heck did Baylor come from? They actually gave us a pretty good run for our money in that game, if I recall correctly, because then we went on to play West Virginia in the Final Four. I'm pretty sure I have that sequence right, and of course ended up winning the title. So I was like, Baylor relevant again. At least like what I find funny is that people always like keep saying, "Oh, when will be finally the day that Kansas doesn't win the Big 12?" And like I don't know if it's this year or not, but actually I think last year they didn't win it. I think the streak is broken. But it's been a long time to be so dominant. Or they tied for it or something. It was like a crazy three-way tie. Also, Ohio State lost, so that's number 11. Lost to unranked Indiana at Indiana. Go figure. Hoosier Dome. Not a very fun place to play. Kentucky won, unfortunately. Auburn just keeps winning, though. Auburn keeps doing really well. 82 to 6 beat up on UG on Georgia. 82 to 60. Fifth ranked team Auburn. Villanova chugging along. Yeah, there it is. Baylor 67 to 55. Wow, Kansas. For first win in Fog Allen in 18 tries. Wow. So Baylor had previously gone 0 and 18 in Fog Allen Fieldhouse. Clemson had previously gone 0 and 59 at the Dean Dome, and both get a first win. That's crazy. Ooh. Meanwhile, where we're at the half, trying to take in this Tennessee Baltimore game, which is currently sitting at 14 nothing in favor of Tennessee after Lamar Jackson was picked off early. Oh my God, he just found a wide open receiver, however. This game, I'm actually kind of glad that the score is 14-0 because that means that this game will actually be interesting. Whereas if the game was like a blowout in favor of the Ravens, you'd be like, well, that got away from the Titans real quick. Speaking about a game that's getting away from somebody, the game here in Cameron is now back in action, getting away from Wake Forest quite considerably, and now trying to get Vernon Carey involved early on in the action. Trey Jones goes straight to Vernon Carey and converts. So Vernon getting some points there early, trying to get the big man involved. He was rather quiet, actually, only 5 points for Carey in the first half, which is rather uncharacteristic for someone who's putting up close to a double-double. Trey Jones just automatic at the free throw line, puts a mid-range jumper. Give Trey 2 more to go with his team high 13 at the moment. And of course, the defense for Duke just keeps dogging Wake Forest there. Johnson manages to convert for 2. We are now more than double, and the more than double chant is alive and well here in Cameron. Oh, Vernon Carey thinking about a 3. Still the team leader in three-point percentage, I think, according to Justin from the other day. Jordan Goldwire turns it over. Wake Forest out on the run. They are going to get this one to drop for them. Easy transition bucket from Wake off a little sloppy play there by Goldwire, unfortunately. Goldwire wide open in the corner. Trey Jones! Goldwire's wide open. Oh my goodness. We're gonna have to look at that play tomorrow. Because Goldwire was wide. I don't know if Trey Jones was just like trying so hard to get the ball to Carey that he like totally ignored Goldwire, but like we do know that Goldwire can shoot the 3. Wake Forest missing a 3 from the right side. Trey Jones now going coast to coast, and he does off the missed 3-pointer. And it's going to be a quick timeout here for the Demon Deacons. As the saying goes, a bad shot is the first pass in your opponent's fast break, and Trey Jones absolutely takes advantage of it. Run out. But yeah, he missed a totally wide open Goldwire, and I don't know what he was looking at. So quick timeout here for Wake Forest. Duke coming up sort of 6-4, but absolutely with all the momentum. Absolutely with all the momentum right now. All right, waiting to come back out of the timeout here. Looks like Wake Forest ended up taking a full timeout. So ESPN is throwing lots of commercials at us for the time being at the moment. Ravens receivers just dropping passes left and right. Oh my goodness, what a kick by Justin Tucker. That thing went to the moon. Holy cow. Ravens 3. The playoff game actually remains rather interesting. All right, back out of the timeout. Finally, my goodness. It's funny because when we do games, like when we do live games, like with the video on the Twitch side of things, like there are very few commercials actually, because they're they're not like they are professional leagues, but they just don't have as many commercials, so it's always moving. In any case, 55-27 to our Blue Devils here. 17:30 to go. The rejection by Matthew Hurt. Another block for the Blue Devils. No blocks for Wake Forest. 5 blocks for Duke. Remember, we average close to around 6. 6.5 a game, which is 5th or 6th in the NCAA. So right there on just about on our season average. We're definitely going to see one before this game is over. The way that Wake Forest and the way that our guys are playing right now. Oh, strong move by Wake Forest. Sar over Matthew Hurt in the paint. Gets the 2-pointer to go. Wake Forest cheap foul near the mid-court by Wright. Matthew Hurt now trying to be the leader of the offense. Jordan Goldwire now takes the 3. Jordan Goldwire for 3, getting in on the action. Why not? Why not at this point? See, that's what I was saying. I was like, why is Trey Jones ignoring Jordan Goldwire over in the corner when he's like wide open? I think Trey just missed it. And we're gonna look at that back at that play. Trey's gonna look at the tape and be like, damn, I missed him. Well, that's fine. Wake Forest trying a 3 of their own. My goodness, that one was a rainbow that goes in here for Neath. Oof. 26-point game in favor of the Blue Devils. So we still don't need to worry about anything. Although Matthew Hurt's 3 ends up long. Wow. Okay. Wake Forest throwing down a little slam. I feel like we should be number 1 if the people who do the standings base it on strength of schedule because we've been dominant. Yeah, so I don't know, like, what we should look at, this is a really interesting point. It's a great point. What we should look at is almost blocked there by Hurt. A little run here by Wake Forest. I wouldn't be surprised to see a coach maybe take a timeout here. He's probably just going to let them play, given that we're up 22. But that's wow. Trey Jones almost gets called for an offensive foul, but doesn't, and the foul is actually going to go against Wake Forest. But sometimes coach, even if we're up big, basically just coaches it as if like we're not up big, and so he would call a timeout in this case because Wake Forest with an easy 7. I'm actually Rocky, your question. I'm really curious if we can somehow see like where we would fall in like in as far as strength of schedule goes, because I think you're right. Like that is strength. Let's do some research while we're in timeout. It's actually a great use of our time here. Yeah, right here. Okay, here we go. I've got it. Ready? So there you go. I'll zoom in for you. I think now we can all see that. So strength of schedule as determined by CBSSports.com. Actually, this is the wrong season. What the hell? Oh, come on. All right, hold on. I was like, we are not 29-5. That's like way wrong. I guess they have to be able to rank it. Oh, okay, here it is. All right, now I got the right one. Here it is. This one's legit. Kansas actually beating us in strength of schedule. Now they have their second loss. So Kansas with at 12-2, Duke here, and then Michigan State. Of course, we've beaten. Here's the thing: we've beaten both of them, right? So you tell me. You be the judge. Because we've already beaten both those teams. To Iowa, Wisconsin, Georgia Tech down at 16, Florida State, North Carolina. This should be updated to 8-8. Actually, I guess this isn't updated as of today, like for today, so it doesn't include like Kansas's loss. But My guess is that this would actually go up for Kansas because they end up playing Baylor, which is sitting at 23, versus we end up playing Wake Forest, which I have no idea where they are. They're at 56. So comparatively, if you include today's game, I think Kansas would still be number one. But the question is, compare it against Gonzaga, sitting at 31, playing a team like Pepperdine at 126, and I think today's game was against Loyola Marymount. Not Loyola MD. Yeah, Gonzaga. Yeah, at 31. Um, and then LMU. Oh, here against, and then they played Loyola Marymount at 123. So like, yeah, it's like it's like a totally valid point. It's actually like, whoops. It's actually like a really good point. It's a really good point. If you were actually trying to do the rankings accurately, which I don't. One would hope that people are trying to do the rankings accurately. Then yeah, absolutely. So out of the media timeout here at the moment, it's actually a Wake Forest turnover. And then back to this Alex O'Connell here in the corner. Alex's three-pointer comes up short. Great to see Alex back out on the floor after that really hard fall that he took in the first half. And oh my goodness, Goldwire almost with the cheeky play there, the great defensive effort, basically wrapped around and poked the ball out from one of the Wake Forest guards. It was called a foul, which I definitely don't agree with, because that was going to be a run out. So good to see Alex back. Doesn't look like the hip injury is anything serious. And a drive there by Wake Forest. My goodness, by Wright. Wake Forest is right there with the drive and ends up getting it. So our lead is now only 21. Yeah. Time to get nervous. Here's Trey Jones. Thought about a three. No. Trey Jones with now 10 seconds on the shot clock. Gets a pick by Delorier. Doesn't quite slip the screen. Here is the three from Trey Jones, and it is pure. Just straight nylon for Trey. 62-38 for the Blue Devils. Oh my goodness. Great defense by Trey Jones results in a pop-up. What? Results in a foul? Are you kidding? Oh my God, this ref is... What is this guy calling? Trey Jones pleading his case. I'm like, yeah, man. Trey Jones is like, the ball popped up in the air and we went to go get it. What? Wow, that was horrible. Jeez. Ball stays on this end of on the offensive end of the court for Wake Forest as they keep trying to do something. Johnson, pass up inside here. Sar. Sar gets the two-pointer. Sar definitely still running offense there for Wake. Bit of a spill there for Javin and his Wake Forest defender down low. Made a bit of a mess of things there in that on the court, to be honest. Wow. Ball back to Duke. And Alex almost dribbles it off his foot. But we're okay. Trey Jones here on the inbounds, gets it to Vernon Carey. Right back to Trey Jones. Trey Jones going to put up a little mid-range shot, and he cannot miss right now. "20 points for Trey. 9 of 14, 2 of 3 from 3. Man, he came back to school to improve his shooting. He's having an awesome game tonight. And a double block there by both Carey and Jack White. Duke now with 6 blocks. There's the season average. That should be and 1. This is why I hate not having continuation. Oh, man. Trey Jones with the drive. I love that reaction. Oh, that was technically blocked by Jack White. Vernon Carey's like, I want to block it too. Man. Inbound play again. This one goes to Carey. Carey's going to put up with the left. It's too long, and Jack White, gets blocked from behind by Wake. Earns himself a trip to the free throw line. Let's see if we can actually do something at the free throw line. Wow, we hit one. That's a miracle. Five of 12. Huh. And yep, hit the second one. Somebody actually went 2 for 2 from the line. That might have to go in the highlight package. 12 minutes left in the game. Jack White almost with a steal. No, not quite. Sarr puts up a mid-range jump shot. No good for Wake Forest. A 26-point lead threatening to Blue Devils setting. Trey Jones, heat check. Trey Jones delivers again. What? Oh my. 69-40. The first half was the game. Now we get to stay for the show. Duke with its own 7-0 run here in the last 2 minutes. And the turnover to Trey Jones up ahead to AOC. AOC for the slam. Oh, gets blocked. Damn it. That was gonna be awesome. Oh man. We almost had another highlight here for AOC. It was gonna be a nice transition. Trey Jones again from 3. Honestly, I thought he had more points than 21. But I think somebody messed up with the stats earlier. Huh. Let's see. The other one is... What? Actually, I'm just taking a look at the bracket here. This pursuing the truth here around. We had been having a conversation in chat about Gonzaga, so this was updated. Oh, yesterday. This is updated yesterday, actually. Gonzaga won. Butler. What? Butler? Is that real? 15-1? Okay, that one's weird. Auburn here down at 2. What? Duke number 1 in the East. So I would actually think that this is the overall number 1 seed. Actually, I would think that because Duke being in the, well, it's hard. Sometimes Duke's in the South and sometimes they're in the East. Then Kansas, okay, this is going to change because Kansas just lost. I don't know why it doesn't look like a nice bracket, but in any case. Oh, here it is. Yeah. Let's look at Butler. This is weird. Butler. Wow. Their only loss is to Baylor. Oh, by 1 point. At Baylor, no less. Wow. Wow, this team's legit. This has been flying under the radar. Ha! This aged well. Ken Roy's least gifted Tar Heels beat Clemson. Wow. Talk about a headline that went well. Oh yeah, I believe this is the first game back for the students officially as they start the next semester. That's why it's so Cameron just absolutely packed. Alex O'Connell at the line misses the first one. Come on, Alex. Come on, Alex. And gets the second. 1 of 2 for Alex at the free throw line. So still 7 of 15 for Duke. Slightly less shooting percentage here in the second half than we were in the first, but still. Actually, Wake Forest holding decently well here in the second half so far. If you just looked at the points in the half, it's 21-17 in favor of Duke. So Wake Forest playing us more or less even for the time being. That a three-pointer from Wake Forest there goes wide. We got 10:50 left in the game. Duke ahead by 30. And the last time these two teams played in Cameron, it came down to the final possession. I am going to go ahead out on a limb and say that that will not be the case tonight. Jack White from 3 from the corner drills that one. Great to see Jack White getting his stroke back. Man, that's going to be so important for us down the stretch. He's got 2 of 2 from 3 with 9 points. Actually, perfect from the field. Well, actually, his only shots are 2 3-pointers, and he's hit 3 or 4 from the line. So that's where his 9 points come from. I actually want to see Trey Jones, not in the game. Yeah, not in the game at the moment, which is probably fine. I'd actually like to see Trey get some rest because he's been playing ridiculous. Like he always has played really big minutes. So it's nice to get Trey a breather. Yeah, like just look at the Georgia Tech game. 39 minutes for Trey Jones. It's basically it's the entire game. Like he does not sit. Don't wear anybody out. A little minutes management there. Plus he's got 21 points tonight. Like the kid is balled. Just absolutely balled out. Jordan Goldwire working on Childress here since Trey's on the bench. It's now up to Goldwire to work on their best Wake Forest team member, and up to Joey Baker, who thought about a quick 3 in transition, but just gets this one to Vernon Carey down low. Back out to Baker. Baker with 1 dribble gets inside the 3-point arc. Tries for 2, can't get it to go. Good offensive sequence, but Joey just wasn't able to convert. Joey reaching, going out. What was going to be Duke's 7th block actually turns into Joey Baker's foul, which is debatable. Like, highly debatable. Highly debatable, actually. Sar at the line for Wake Forest, shooting 2, gets the first. Childress, and here's the stat line for Childress that they're putting up right now: 0 points, 0 for 5, 4 turnovers, averages 16 on the season. I mean, he is like, when you like think about like Wake Forest, like he is the guy. He's the guy. Although Johnson seems to be doing pretty well for them tonight. Yeah, they're comparing the stats against those at FSU. 20 points against FSU, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, and he's got nothing. Goldwire and Trey Jones have just locked him down, and a sloppy turnover by Duke. Actually, Wake Forest takes a spill, so we're not going to pay for it, or we are? I think they're going to keep the ball on this end of the floor. It was a attempted pass by Matt Hurt. Yeah, no problem. So, Rocky, that's a question that I'll answer twice because there are 2 answers. The first one is in 2012, and the second one is in 2015. So, yeah. And from the outside here is White, and looking. Oh, Alex O'Connell with the steal, tries to save this one. Almost lands in the front row of the. Actually, almost lands on top of the announcer, of the stadium announcer, because the ESPN ones are up top actually. But yeah, almost takes out the nice gentleman there. Neath passing it up to White. Wake Forest. This is Childress still trying to work, and it's a double team brought by Matt Hurt and Goldwire. And then this really tough runner here by Musius. Musius ends up converting the 2 points there. Still really no threat. We're just going to sit back and enjoy this one, Blue Devil fans. This is well played. Joey Baker thought about the 3 in the corner. I think he should have taken it. Ends up driving. He goes all the way to the other side of the court to shoot the 3 from there. Joey, 11 points, perfect from the outside. Drills another one. Duke up by 30. And this pass is just into the lap of Delorier. Wake Forest just a gift. What was that? Doesn't really matter. AOC on the other side can't convert. That was, yeah. Wake Forest actually doesn't know which team to throw the ball to at the moment. I think they're confused by the jerseys because they're in white and we're in this like dark blue. So AOC is going to end up going to the line. Wow, that was a terrible play by Wake. Alex shooting 2, misses the first one. Yeah, they're showing the ACC scoreboard, which we have run through ourselves. Just a wide open league at the moment. Oh my goodness. Alex misses the second one. However, we end up getting the rebound there, so I guess we're padding our rebounding stats by missing free throws. I'm going to be optimistic. I'm just going to be a positive person about it. And then a scrum out on the floor. This Javin against 3 Demon Deacons is going to result in a held ball. Alternating possession arrow, going to give it to Wake Forest. And actually, we have hit the under 8 timeout. With Duke ahead by 30. Still, though, in this half, Wake Forest, the second half score is only 27-23. So we haven't really. I mean, we just built this massive lead in the first with 26 points. So, and that's kind of been the story of the game. The football game is now also at halftime, with the Titans leading 14-6. So he was gonna. What is this article? What? Oh, this is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at this like crazy article about that's saying what's going to keep Duke from winning the tournament. I mean, they say, oh, it's going to be free throw shooting. Duh. Like, yeah, okay. So just, I mean, it could be. Here's your Zags one. Allowed 70 points in 7 straight, and 3 of their top 5 scorers are shooting under 6. So they apparently Gonzaga also having free throw issues. Who knew? It's the latest. Oh, this is the one we were looking at earlier. Still in the commercial here as we are working on the under 8-minute timeout. Hopefully everybody in chat and our fellow Blue Devils are enjoying this game because Duke has just been putting it to Wake Forest as we thought they would. We do have a game coming up against Clemson on Tuesday. Oh, look, there's a nice hawk. We do have a game coming up against Clemson on Tuesday. Clemson coming off a hot win against North Carolina. Probably going to roll in. This is like, it's like Georgia Tech gets Duke after beating North Carolina. So here's a conspiracy. Clemson is going to get Duke after beating North Carolina. Either they scheduled it in such a way that teams play both North Carolina and then Duke, but didn't factor in the fact that North Carolina would be losing so much this season that like teams will be hungry to knock off both Tobacco Road teams in like one right after the other, right? But I mean, last time Clemson came into Cameron, it was pretty much a run out, and it gave us the helicopter spin, crazy, amazing highlight reel dunk of Zion Williamson that we were seeing for the entire rest of the season, which is totally fine because it was an amazing dunk. So I'm expecting Cassius Stanley to do the exact same thing. Because he seems actually Hash just hasn't had like a high flying dunk yet. Yet is the qualifier there. Still waiting for it. Stanley hits the first of 2 free throws, now taking his second one, and does end up converting 2 of 2 at the line. So basically, we just need to give the poor free throw shooters whatever the good ones are eating, or something like that. Good vibes for trying to shoot free throws. Wake Forest shooting free throws at 50% themselves. This high off the glass shot by Wake Forest ends up rolling in by Torrey Johnson, who's got a team high 13 to lead the Demon Deacons. On our end, actually, Trey Jones still on the bench, and because we just don't really need him. So this is great minutes, actually, for Goldwire, great minutes for O'Connell and Joey Baker. So I'm totally okay with this move by K to leave Trey out. Cassius Stanley going up strong, can't get it to go, gets his own rebound, actually, and ends up getting fouled. So Stanley going back to the line. Let's see if he can make it 4 for 4 from the line. It's actually going to be a, yes, this is a 2-shot shooting foul. Cassius gets the third one. He's 3 of 3. Alex O'Connell back in the game. And Cassius Stanley shooting the 4th one, and now 4 for 4. Claps in chat for Cassius, who's been managing to hit his free throws. Nicely done. Wake Forest still kind of playing the game. Playing the game, gets that one to go. 30-point lead. I am absolutely asking us to like win by 40 because we should just keep going. Just over 6 minutes to go. Hurt, Stanley, Goldwire, Delorier, and O'Connell out on the floor. Goldwire tries to put up a shot from 3, but there is a foul out on the floor first. Yeah, so we've got a stat going up right now about the field goal percentage. Field goal percentage 58%, 3-point percentage 61%. So if we're like the awesome thing about this year's team, and this was like we talked about this on our show the other day, is that we have consistent 3-point shooting threats at you could basically put 5 players on the court and be like, if you don't have Vernon carry out, and be like, oh, okay, everybody can hit a 3. Everybody can hit a 3. And even if you have Vernon Carey in the lineup, you've got Trey, Goldwire, Baker, O'Connell, Stanley, Hurt. That's like 6 people that could just that can hit 3s, which is more than we can say for a lot of the Duke teams we've had in the past, and gives us so much more versatility. Because remember last year, it was so painful to watch. You'd like throw it into Zion or RJ and be like, all right, make it happen, and then there's no 3-point options. It's such a struggle. Actually, and now Jack White has been having himself a really nice night as well. I remember like back in the early 2010s, like the Duke teams it was like the Duke offense was this whole concept of like drive and kick. Like the best time to take the 3-pointer is when you get penetration. So you have guards like Nolan Smith and John Shire, and like sitting on no wonder they're sitting on the bench right now. Yeah. And then like you just see this drive and kick action, and you get wide open 3s to folks like, well, Matt Jones, Kyle Singler, Nolan Smith himself. Is a turnover here, and Cassius Stanley on the run out. Here comes the dunk! Yes, there it is. We said it was coming, and Cassius Stanley just threw it down. He has put up 8 points in the last 3 minutes. Cassius Stanley has owned this little 4-minute segment of play right now, and the Demon Deacons trying to hustle on the offensive side of the ball. Damn, nicely done by Stanley. Taken off from the paint here and thrown down the slam. Goldwire just trying to, at this point, we're just trying to run clock, which is totally fine. Play some K-ball, but Cassius Stanley says, I want more. Cassius going in strong into the paint, takes his man off the dribble, finishes with the right hand. Duke defense, that's a charge. No! What? In what world, ref, is that actually is that a block? Like, when? When? It's funny. We did over the summer. We did a deep dive on each of the Duke recruits, and the video. I still have like the videos of each of them that we did. I should probably post them. Like, and we were like looking at Cassius Stanley. We were looking back at the Stanley video, and we're like, basically my biggest takeaway was like this kid is explosive. That was my big takeaway when I was watching the mixtapes. And then I even ended up saying like, oh, he's gonna break like that vertical test, the thing where you jump up and hit the thingy. And then lo and behold, it's exactly what he ends up doing. This kid has been incredible. I love his game. He's just got so much energy. He has that Zion William infectious energy for this team, and it just like runs. It's just so infectious for the team. It's so good. It's so good. Jordan Goldwire doing a really good job of playing point here that Trey Jones has been sitting for basically half of the half. .444 to go. Duke ahead by 32. Jordan Goldwire at the line misses his first one, so we got a little spoiled by 6 straight free throw makes from Cassius Stanley. Goldwire puts up another one, does get that one, nicely done. Oh yeah, and by the way, we have Wendell Moore, who's on the bench, injured, unfortunately, who can also contribute like 6 to 10 points on any given night. So many weapons. Goldwire calling out the play here at the 4:30 mark. Goldwire is going to take a mid-range shot, doing his best Trey Jones impersonation, and the shot goes. Nicely done by Goldwire. 10 points for him, put him in double figures. Joey Baker guarding right. Active hands by O'Connell almost results in another Wake Forest turnover. That would have been their 17th turnover. Javin going to go to the bench right before the 4-minute timeout. And who's going to come out? Oh, Robinson. Justin Robinson now out on the bench. Now off the bench, rather. So the captain, or the lieutenant, out on the floor. Screen there by Wake Forest. The switch. Robinson picks up his man. Great defense by Robinson. Prevents him from getting to the bucket. This is Childress trying to shoot a three from way outside. No good. Wake isn't actually shooting a bad percentage. They're shooting 45% from the field. But, it just hasn't worked. They've ended up taking, I'm trying to do quick math, 8 less shots than us at the moment. They're actually even with us on the rebounds. More or less, 29-31. Which is sort of interesting. I would have thought we would have done better in the rebounding margin. I guess that's a potential, we haven't done that. We've been doing pretty good on the offensive glass. But, assists, beautiful. The assists, 18 assists for Duke. 6 from Goldwire, 5 from Jones. So Trey Jones actually isn't actually leading the team in assists. Wow. Leading the assist. Seven blocks, so we're above our season average there. And you got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 Blue Devils in double figures. If Jack White gets one more point, he's going to be in double figures. Trey Jones with 21. Goldwire with 10. Stanley with 18. Vernon Carey actually only has 8. And we've got 88 points. Hurt's got 5. And we've got 88 with 4 minutes left. Now, granted, at this point, we may not score. We don't need to score. May as just well put the walk-ons in at this point, which would be totally fine. So, but yeah, this is absolutely the type of game you want to see from Duke. All right. Back out of the under 4 timeout. So we're just going to take this one to the end. Basically, after this should end it. This is the final timeout. We'll just run it down. It's kind of funny. The Trey Jones 3-pointers have no spin on them. There's no rotation. They're like knuckleballs. Player of the game. Oh yeah, okay. They just updated Trey Jones' stats. So 23 points. Not 21. Because I was like, yeah. Because there was one where he made a 3 and they gave him 1 point, and I was like, that's not right. But Cassius Stanley basically put him at number 2 for points in the span of literally 3 minutes. Oh, Justin Robinson going to put up a 3. Robinson! No! Oh, damn it. Damn it. Oh man, that was really exciting. It always brings the house down when you get the walk-ons in and they get a rebound or they get points and like that is awesome. Cameron is electric when that happens. AOC gives this one out to Baker. Goldwire is still in the game here. Robinson trying to set a high screen. Goldwire swings the pass out to Robinson. Robinson to Jack White. Jack White's going to go for three. That one's going to hit the front rim. Robinson, great offensive rebound. Going to go to Goldwire, back to Robinson into the corner. No, can't get it to go. Come on, give me a highlight, buddy. Make it happen. Damn, can't quite get it. That was almost really exciting. Two good looks for Robinson. Just can't quite knock him down. Oh, Wake Forest, the steal. No, yes, Duke steals it, and Joey Baker is out and running. Joey Baker, put it up, and then Jack White! Yes, with a slam! Beautiful look. Jack White on the receiving end from Joey Baker. Running the transition. Love to see the Blue Devils playing this hard, even when the score is this. And here's Joey Baker, who just throws his body out on the floor. Going over for a loose ball. Oh, beautiful. Actually, Joey's pass wasn't actually high enough. Or it doesn't look high enough. Oh, okay, he does. He does just quite get it there at the apex of the pass. Jack White with a glare. Put Jack White into double figures. 5 Blue Devils now into double figures. Awesome performance as the Blue Devils now up 35 points. Wake Forest had essentially played the second half more or less even, but now Duke just putting it to him. Oh, Jack White almost thought about stepping into a three. I think he should have taken it. And instead, Joey Baker is actually going to take it, and that one's going to go outside. Nope. And into the game is Buckmeyer, number 51. So we're going a little farther down the bench. And it looks like Duke, with under 2 minutes to go, is going to be headed to its 900th win in Cameron. 900th win in Cameron. I have to think back into how many wins I was there for. Be kind of cool. Maybe about, well, we play half games at home. Maybe about 40 or 50. Well, Wake Forest shooting free throws for some bizarre reason. Yeah, absolutely, Rocky. Take it easy. Have a good night to you as well. Thank you for hanging about. I appreciate everybody who stopped by through chat and has been sharing the Duke love. It's been awesome. Our Blue Devils have put on a show here tonight against Wake Forest. So definitely appreciated. Make sure if you're enjoying, if you want to stick around for Duke and get notified when we're doing our Duke shows, make sure to subscribe. Totally free. We appreciate it. 100. We love you. 3,000 for that. Buckmeyer now with handles. As Goldwire went to the bench, Buckmeyer has now run in the point. Oh, and he sticks his man down there, and unfortunately, his little floater doesn't go, but it was a great shot fake by Buckmeyer. Oh, that would have been awesome. So unfortunately, our walk-ons 0 for 3 shooting. Oh, yeah, 0 for 3 shooting. Wake Forest long-range shot doesn't go. Buckmeyer comes down with a rebound, getting on the stat sheet. That is awesome. Duke going to go to 5-0 in the ACC after this win. At the top of the standings for sure. Joey Baker, a couple jab steps, a massive spin move down low. The rebound goes to Jack White as 4 seconds on the shot clock. 3. Joey Baker's going to put up a 3, and he is going to beat the clock, but it's going to be short, so it's an air ball. Doesn't hit anything, and now Wake Forest driving. 45 seconds left on the game. They're still playing, trying to go up. They do manage to convert 2 points there. Mucius. Looks like Wake Forest will get its reserves in. Man, those uniforms look fresh. I hope they use them again at some point later. That'd be sick. Looks like it's going to be a 31-point win for our Blue Devils here. Another day in the ACC, another Duke win, another North Carolina loss. Ladies and gentlemen, you just can't ask for much more than that. The pass from Robinson to Buckmeyer. Oh, Buckmeyer can't handle it there for a sec. 20 seconds to go here on the clock. Wake Forest not going to dribble it out. Somebody wants to score in Cameron from their side. Swing pass to the outside. Somebody's going to try to score for Wake Forest. 12 points. The shot hits the back of the backboard. Way to go, Wake. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be it. Duke is going to take it from a final score 90-59 for their 900th win in Cameron Indoor Stadium. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us here on Relive Sports. We will be doing our Duke show tomorrow. I believe it's going to be close. It's going to be around 11 o'clock Eastern. We'll probably post something, so make sure to come back for that, or we'll get notified when we go live. Have a great night, everybody. I realize it's already 10 o'clock on the East Coast, so have a great evening. Enjoy and have a great Sunday. Go Blue Devils and GTHC. So take care, and thanks everybody again for Real Life Sports. This is Ritz signing off. Good night.